other half?
The players in the other half, the two ways to look at it. One is to come from the chipset perspective, and from the chipset perspective, the players in the chipset actually is Intel. Intel is one of the bigger ones which have the market lead in that. I wouldn't say the market lead, but it has one of the bigger drivers. The second one I would say would be from NVIDIA. So if you look at some of the newer applications or hardware that's coming from NVIDIA, who have their mobile chipset, which includes that. Okay. Then another way to look at it is from the docking station perspective, where the docking station is either based on DL or is from somebody else. And in that sense, I think the players in the docking station are obvious. The StarTech, Dell, Lenovo, and HP. So most of these, except StarTech, has a display link-based docking station. If it's not, it's based on more or less Intel graphics.
Okay. When you speak of Intel, are you referring to what I have here as a technology kind of name, like Thunderbolt, or?
Oh, no. So let me back up one step. Actually.
Okay, thank you.
When we talk about a display, when we talk about docking station, there are a few components to it. So one is the interface. So the interface could be Visa DisplayPort, and the Apple equivalent of that is Thunderbolt. It could be USB and USB-C. It could be USB-A, which is the big normal USB-C, or it could be USB Type-C, which is the tiny USB we have on our iPhones, for example. That's the most common one where it could be inserted anyway. So that's on the physical interface side of things. The second is the chipset that's inside that enables these interfaces. So the chipset, currently the market leader is DisplayLink, and the second one is the Intel. So when I say the chipset is the actual silicon that enables it, and the job of that silicon is to take a video stream or audio stream and then encode it or compress it so that it's possible for you for a monitor or 3 monitors to use it. So, for example, if I have one laptop and I want to enable 3 screens out of that laptop, it's just not possible. And that's where I need something in between. So I could go in for a docking station that has the chipset. And the job of the chipset is that it will take one input video stream and it will do fancy stuff with it to make it appear in 3 different screens, or it will extend those one screen to 3 different screens. And that's where the chipset actually comes into picture, which may sometimes include the wireless aspect of it or the wired aspect of it, as well as the compression algorithm that enables it. Because if you're looking at 4K video streams, for video games or even for just normal TV, it's just not possible from a video camera. It's just not possible to take that video stream and get it to your through a head display or to a monitor. That's where we need to have a chip that does the compression of the stream or it processes that stream, and that's where the DL is, or that's where Intel graphics stream is. Now, once it's processed that, it needs to connect to the monitor. That's where the physical interfaces come into picture, which is what we're talking about, which is a Thunderbolt.
Got it. And so how would you describe DisplayLink's offering today? What are they good at? How are they better than others at doing specific things? I mean, what I understand is that their technology has improved quite significantly. They've had issues in the past, but they were good enough to kind of solve most of them and make most of their customers happy with their technology, so to say, in very basic terms. Is this, how would you characterize